Welcome to my daily practice at Wendy Coad Art. If you find this video interesting or helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video.
Hi, my name is Wendy and I'm an artist. I've been an artist my whole life and I am excited to invite you into my studio and show you my art practice. I paint every day and I do acrylic on paper. I also do stencils. I draw. I organize my studio space. I do a lot of things. For me, art is about problem solving, so there's always little tricks and tools that I can share with you along the way.
Welcome to my studio. I am going to be doing some rearranging in my studio, meaning that I'm taking these paintings down. Some of you might have been following. I made the works on the far side, on the left-hand side, and so the progress report is that I am going to recycle these paintings. They have gotten to a point where I no longer feel I can, or I just don't. I mean, I'd just rather start something new than to wrestle with these works. I have an explanation for myself. I hadn't painted for a while, and so I started. And sometimes after a break, when you start to paint, it's kind of like there's some sludge or something. I call it a fur ball. And that just has to come out. And it comes out on various surfaces, just paintings that don't work. And at a certain point, there's no point, as I decide. That's my decision. So I've decided, that I am going to take these paintings down. They might be close, but the other thing is I also am ready to start on some smaller works, and I just don't want to, I don't want to wait. So I'm going to put these on the table. I'm going to staple them down. Now, it's a good thing to just make sure everything on the table is cleared off. And this is a bottle that I filled with cat litter. I don't have a cat, but I used it at one point to dry some paint that I wanted to throw out. It's no good to throw wet paint out while it's wet. It can be a pollutant. So I dried it out. It worked moderately. There's other products that work better, but now I use it as a weight. This stuff is heavy, so I just kind of use it as a weight. Okay, I'm putting these together. They're going to share a piece of tape down the center. I'll move them out so that I can work with them at this end, and I don't have to go so far into that end. Now the tape is not going to be enough, so I'm going to, the tape's not going to be enough to stick it down. I'm going to tape them down after I staple. And I've run out of staples. buy these staples by the 10,000. Because I really just work on paper now. Well, even if I was working on canvas, that would be a lot of staples. All right, and the staples down the middle, I put the stapler right in the middle so that it pierced on one side and on the other side. So I just eliminated 3 extra staples there. And this it's always hard. There's parts of these that I really do like, but I am going to move now to making smaller pieces. And this is how I set it up with the tape. So I do have to measure. I could have folded these before. I like that as a measure, but I didn't quite organize myself well enough to begin with. So just do it this way. Pencil, straight edge. These are 30 inches, so I know at 15. And at 45. That was interesting. At 15 and at 45. And then the halfway point is 11. And 11. Okay. Now, my tape, and I am going to do the short edges. So on the ends, it is half on and half off the paper. At the 15-inch mark, it is hopefully right down the center of that mark. And at the center of this join, and center of the mark. I can kind of see the tape isn't so opaque that I can't see the mark, which is nice. So I'm looking at that mark and all right. Wow. Sorry, but I always get amazed at how certain parts of paintings look so different when they're isolated. These 2 panels and these 2 panels look, quite different. These could work on their own, but I'm not going there. All right, now I covered up my midline marks, and except for this one here. So I can do this, but I have to go back. Fortunately, not the entire distance. So 11 inches. All right. And then 11 inches. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Now this tape almost, oh, well, actually it is sticking. It's really the plastic here that is kind of lifting up. That's okay. The paper itself is, a little bit wavy because that's what paper does when it's had water applied to it over and over and over again. There's a synthetic paper. I think it's called yuzu. Yuzu? Can't remember the name of it, but because yuzu is a citrus essential oil that I love. So that's probably why I'm trying to transpose something I love onto something else that I love. Well, I don't. I did buy some at one point, but I really didn't like the plastic surface quality. I think some artists really make it work well. I just wasn't that enamored with it. I should try it again, though. Never say never forever. That's actually a good expression. Never say never forever. Oh my goodness. Now, these paintings have transformed. I made a mistake not taking a photograph of them before I took them down and started to carve them up. I'm going to show you what these look like now. Very tenuous. So, can you see like each individual section now really it really stands on its own. I mean, oh my goodness. I'm tempted now to just turn these into smaller paintings. You see that? I mean, individually now, these sections have a lot more cohesion than they did as the whole piece. Now, I have to think about this. Give you, try to avoid certain things and give you kind of a close-up of the surfaces. So, sorry if that was a little bit jumpy, but I just wanted to show you what was going on. And from my point of view, I could live with every single one. I think there's only one panel that kind of doesn't sit well with me, but the rest of them I like a lot. I have to think about this. I have to think about what I want to do with these, whether I want to stencil them or whether I want to just kind of like embellish them a bit. I mean, now you can focus in on some of these areas, whereas before I mean, you were really looking at the forest and not the individual trees. I love it when this happens. I wonder what would happen if I broke it down even further. I'm going to try. Let me see, what did I do with that tape? I mean, I'm just experimenting here, so just to see what another cross sectioning would do. I'm not even measuring it, it's just eyeballing it. It's pretty nice, but they actually are they're really looking good the way they are on the just in the larger format. These would make really nice books. So I might, just have a few. I have a problem with just a couple of corners here. This corner here and this corner here. The rest, fine. So here are my choices. I can, break them down into 11 by 15s, which they are now, and just, be done, with 6 out of 8. Or, and then I can use the other 2 for something, or, what's my other choice? Yeah, I can clean up these and fold them into books. Now this paper is pretty heavy for the books, but doesn't matter. Never met a book I didn't like. Paintings can be very, very versatile that way. And it would be exciting to show you how to make those books too. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming to my studio. I'm just going to walk in front of the camera there and take a look at this, this destruction and then, reconstruction. I'm amazed every day. I'm amazed every day at, just putting something in a different context or just working with it differently or looking at it differently or breaking it down a little bit to see it differently. Really, it's amazing. It really changes things.
So I'm so happy that you are joining me today and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day to day as an artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here.